Next up, we have Becky Gardner.
All right. Good evening. My name is Becky Gardner, 410 South Nursery Avenue. I'm a first-time speaker, so I'm a little jittery, but here we go. In preparation for tonight, I revisited a public screed made by Nett, our local town bully with a badge. His campaign speech ironically chronicled his own quest to stand up to bullies, like me. Amongst countless lies, he stated that he was embarrassed for me, wondering how I could ever again show my face in town. Well, your embarrassment is unfounded. Here I am. Wave. Hey, hey, hey. And I am not embarrassed, and I encourage you to be embarrassed for yourself. We moved to Purcellville in 2021 from Herndon with our 3 children, though my husband John Mark and I have been regular visitors of Purcellville since 2008. We made it a goal to get out to Western Loudoun and finally realized that dream in 2021. It is still a dream most days. We love living in and serving this community. However, the divisive and unethical political strategies by the current Mayberry 4 and campaign cheerleader Frazier are proving exhausting, nauseating, and they need to stop. I was first introduced to Purcellville politics by one Miss Carol Luke, an unassuming sweet old lady that knocked on my front door in 2022. We chatted about my barn cat, and the conversation quickly turned dark. Carol began beguiling me with stories that Joel Gruey, a then mayoral candidate, was a Christian nationalist and that he needed to be stopped. She had sourced material and handouts and directed me to an underground meeting to stop Joel's quest to radicalize the local government. While this seemed extreme, we joined friends at the meeting to see what was going on firsthand. Whether this was Valerie Curry's strategy or Luke's herself, I'm not sure. But Joel lost, and while I don't know him personally, I would like to apologize to him for not realizing Luke was playing nasty political games. Games that should have served as a warning of things to come. During the next year's election cycle, we were visited by Caleb Stout and chatted with him at length about his campaign, local issues, and found him to be honest and knowledgeable regarding town problems. Friendships were made, as they should be in a small town, and we placed one of his signs in our yard, happy to support him. Our personal politics are opposites, but town politics should not be polarizing. Soon after we put up Caleb's sign, we returned home to our then 7-year-old telling us we just missed that older lady. I asked him to explain, and he told me that Carol, that had stopped by before, stopped him on the sidewalk in front of our home and told him to tell his mom and dad they had the wrong sign in their yard. My 7-year-old son. Actions speak louder than words, Miss Luke, and conspiracy theories only spread mistrust. I encourage you to do better and to be better for our community. Vote like our town depends on it, not just your campaign backers at the Blue Ridge Leader. Also, save your vile rhetoric for the adults. Please, we can handle it. Let's agree to leave our kids out of it. Thank you.
The second one we have is from Becky Gardner at 410 South Nursery Avenue. Yep. Mayor Berteau and members of the Purcellville Town Council. It won't be 2 or 3 minutes, so I can just. I regret that I cannot attend in person. I wanted to ensure my support for the Virginia Main Street program is heard. This program offers a value opportunity to harness expert guidance, secure grant funding, and strengthen our town's economic and cultural vibrancy, all without costing the town financially. Despite the recent discussion to remove Purcellville from the program, I urge the council to reconsider. This is a community-driven initiative supported by residents and business owners who are passionate about revitalizing our town. It provides a framework that empowers local businesses, preserves the character of our downtown, and fosters sustainable growth, all with no financial burden on the town. Informational meetings have been well attended, and Purcellville citizens are ready to get to work. Leesburg, also known as the Leesburg Movement, is a great example of the success of this program, seeing increased tourism, local collaborations like a holiday market, and stronger community ties in the form of date nights and special shopping days. Businesses and citizens are talking, brainstorming, finding solutions, and working together. I ask you, why would we turn away an opportunity that would help us thrive without imposing extra costs? A thriving downtown is the foundation of a strong town. When Main Street is vibrant, the entire town benefits. A thriving downtown boosts property values, attracts visitors, and creates a sense of identity and pride that extends to Purcellville. The Main Street program offers the resources to make this happen, providing structure, guidance, and support to help us build a future together, a brighter future. The Mayberry majority on this council have created so much division, but it's time to focus on unity and shared goals. The Main Street program is an opportunity for businesses, residents, and leaders to come together and work toward a thriving future. I urge this council to prioritize the community's need over political division, listen to the voices of residents, and allow the program to help Purcellville grow. Thank you.
All right. My name is Becky Gardner, 410 South Nursery. Authority without integrity yields corruption. That's what we're seeing right now. And that's exactly why I wanted to speak tonight. What we're witnessing in Purcellville are not disagreements, and they're not policy differences. It's corruption masked as procedure, carried out by a majority more focused on power than public service. You may hold office, but that doesn't make you a leader. You may cast votes, but that doesn't mean you serve the people. And you may have the authority to dismantle, silence, and replace, but that doesn't make it right. Let's name it. A police department, accredited, respected, and part of what made this the safest town in Virginia, was set to be eliminated without public input. Not because it failed, but because certain council members thought they could. A fired police officer, flagged on the Brady list for dishonesty, under state investigation, cast a vote to disband the very department he once served. That's not oversight, that's personal vengeance turned into policy. A mayor removed from the coalition of Loudoun towns for failing to act with transparency now hides behind process while trust crumbles. A former mayor bought the town manager role and now sits atop the rubble of the system he helped collapse. And rounding out this disgrace, 2 council members who act little more than puppets, reading from scripts and calling that representation. The people of Purcellville deserve more than placeholders in those seats. We deserve representatives with voices of their own, and we'd love to hear your voices. When you stop listening to your community, when you weaponize your position, you tear down institutions that protect us. You are not governing, you are exploiting. And let me be clear, this town is not yours to exploit.
This is from Becky Gardner, 410 South Nursery Avenue. Dear Mayor, council members, and town staff, I'm writing today as a local business owner and community member deeply invested in the health and vitality of Purcellville. Once again, the Purcellville Main Street program is on the agenda, and once again, I respectfully urge you to fully recognize its critical role in preserving the local character we all value, while simultaneously supporting and sustaining the small businesses that are the heart of our town. The Main Street program is not simply ornamental, it is the infrastructure, the advocacy, and the economic development engine that allows small businesses like mine to grow, thrive, and invest back into Purcellville. This program connects us with resources, marketing tools, and community engagement opportunities we would not have access to on our own. The board has already had a great success working as a team, and as exemplified by our participation in the Music and Arts Festival, and our committees are growing. The community is excited. Our goal as volunteers is simply to promote vitality and community on Purcellville's Main Street. That's it. There are no hidden costs, no hidden agendas, so I must ask the town council, where do you want citizens and visitors to Western Loudoun to spend their money? Where do you want travelers of the WNOD Trail or those out enjoying Western Loudoun to pop in for lunch and shopping? Are you asking us to spend it in surrounding towns, many with strong and successful Main Street programs that actively champion their business communities? No, we absolutely want to keep the money in our town. The citizens we have responded, and many agree, our Main Street, while there is so much potential, it needs PVMS in support of businesses and citizens, and ideally our town council to unite for the smart and respectful rehabilitation and revitalization of our downtown community. We deserve clarity, transparency, and meaningful collaboration, not more uncertainty. Councilwoman Luke, as a longtime supporter of the EDAC and previous advocate for the Virginia Main Street collaboration, and a small business owner yourself, I ask for your continued leadership and support. Your voice matters greatly to all of us who believe in the future and vibrant walkability local first Purcellville.
Hi there, Becky Gardner, 410 South Nursery. I'm also a board member of the Purcellville Main Street program. I want to begin by recognizing PVMS, not just for their vision, but for the work. For strategic planning, from strategic planning to rolling up their sleeves in the summer heat, like last week, to get that parklet open. Thank you, town manager. Open and thriving. PVMS has shown what it means to lead with both heart and hustle. They've also sparked long overdue conversations downtown, conversations you guys won't have. Conversations about accessibility, business vitality, community pride, and how we build a future that honors our past without staying stuck in it. These are conversations rooted in care, conversations that some, like our Mayberry group, simply are not willing to have. I want to thank the Planning Commission, EDAC, our town manager, for their continued support of the Purcellville Main Street program. Because downtown Purcellville is not just a backdrop, it's a beating heart. It's the Saturday strolls, the small business dreams, the front porch feeling we're all trying to hold on to. Let me be clear, the town supports this program. EDAC supports it, the Planning Commission supports it, the town manager supports it, the people support it. So how is it that 4 individuals, just four of you, believe they can speak for an entire town? You cannot and you should not listen to the town. This Friday, we invite everyone, and you've been invited, to our membership meeting. We'll share our goals, introduce our leadership, highlight current projects, and offer some really fun raffles and prizes. But more than that, it's a chance to see what's possible when community leads the way. Let's move forward together with vision, transparency, and deep love for this town we all call home. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to speak on another occasion. Tonight I have my son here. He is studying civics and things in high school, and I thought it was really important for him to see this discussion of our Constitution in the United States this evening. So, but I don't know if you guys knew this, but Purcellville has declared independence from the Constitution. It appears our mayor has discovered a little-known loophole in American law. And if you didn't know this, when you're standing at the lectern in Purcellville Town Hall, the First Amendment politely excuses itself and steps outside for a little smoke break. Yes, while Congress is busy upholding free speech for 330 million Americans, here in our 9,000-person town, we boldly decided we can do better. Why stop at potholes and zoning when you can rewrite the Constitution? According to this new philosophy, George Washington may have crossed the Delaware, but he never had to cross Mayor Berteau. James Madison may have drafted the Bill of Rights, but apparently forgot to check in with the Purcellville Town Council first. And if you have a critique of local leadership, well, that's just too much freedom, citizen. It's almost endearing, really, the notion that little Purcellville can overrule the United States Constitution. Like watching a toddler with a plastic hammer fix the family car. The truth is simple. Free speech is messy, sometimes uncomfortable, but always, always essential. Our town deserves leadership that can handle a little heat without trying to unplug the stove. So let's keep talking, loudly if necessary, because if the founders fought a revolution over tea and taxes, I'm pretty sure we can survive a few minutes of public comment without declaring independence from the First Amendment. I just encourage you to do better. Thank you. Hello, my name is Becky Gardner, 410 South Nursery Avenue. I'm also a business owner here in town. We have been making national headlines lately, though not always for the reasons any of us should be especially proud of. But all felonies and wedding invites aside, if I got to write the headline myself, it would be, "Small Town Gets Big Things Right." And this holiday season has been proving it. I loved the tree lighting. It was so special. And I serve currently as the vice president for the Purcellville Main Street program. Our Main Street holiday market was an undeniable win for our town. Families flooded 21st Street to the tune of 1,800 plus people. Vendors sold out, and the community that showed up in the freezing cold were there because they believed in what we're building. people walked away saying, this feels like the Purcellville we've been missing. And that's more than a market, that's momentum, my friends. We also need to recognize the people who made this possible. Huge thanks to the Lions Club for keeping spirits bright. They were at both ends of the street welcoming everyone in. The Woodgrove High School students showed up. They played music. They did whatever we needed them to do. They were wonderful. We had Santa, but Santa was upstaged by the Grinch, Mr. Kevin Wright, who worked the crowd. And he somehow made mischief look like community service. So thank you, sir. Thank you to the Main Street volunteers who meet every week for hours every week. Thank you to the 25 incredible vendors that were there, to Purcellville Copy who helped us, to Casco who put in a mural board for kids, our amazing food vendors, and the entire Main Street board for putting in the kind of work that nobody sees but everyone feels. This is what community looks like. I think you guys could learn something from us. Thank you. Good evening. My name is Becky Gardner, 410 South Nursery Avenue. I also own a small business in town. Purcellville is a town of striking contrast, which fosters deep ideological and political differences. When it's an election season, you see the signs everywhere for everything. We have 6th-generation farmers and fresh off the Beltway transplants. One of my neighbors has lived there for 70 years, and most of the other ones are from Arlington. It's a very, very different community. We have horses, hemp, hybrid SUVs. We have small business owners, homeschooling parents, federal employees, retirees, developers, preservationists, and people who've never once been to a town council meeting. Many of you are maybe watching and tuning in, but you still care deeply about this place. We are all not the same, we're not meant to be, but we do live here together. And right now, 3 truths we can all agree on have become abundantly clear. Number 1, Sarah Lambrania should be our chief of police. She's qualified, steady, respected by the officers she leads and the residents she serves. After months of political interference, she's brought calm, stability, and professionalism. The idea that we now throw that away for politics, pressure, or personal alliances is not just short-sighted, it's dangerous. 2, this one's fun. We deserve transparency, not half-truths, from a biased local tabloid. Of course, I'm referring to the Blue Ridge Leader. It has become routine for certain council members to publicly decry others' actions via personal PR campaigns in this tabloid. This week was particularly aggressive against Councilmember Rayner, and I just want to say keep up the good work, and you are way more stylish than that poorly perceived comic gave you credit for. Valerie Curry and Nett never seem to mention his own shortcomings with any scrutiny. Nett never mentions his felony investigations attached to his name. He doesn't discuss in detail the incident where he showed up uninvited at my home. He doesn't mention patterns of harassment, obstruction, or dishonesty that have deeply eroded the town's trust in him. Using the Blue Ridge Leader to distract from your own missteps isn't transparency, it's performative. The town's citizens are not stupid. Moreover, this town is not a backdrop for one man's political cosplay. The so-called Mayberry Four are not quaint, and they are not misunderstood. This is definitely something we all agree on. So thank you for uniting us in that. My friends, regardless of party,
Thank you. Next on the agenda, we have mayor and council comments.
Second one is from Becky Gardner, 410 South Nursery Avenue. I'm a Purcellville resident, a business owner, and a mother of 3. I spend a lot of time thinking about what we are teaching our children, not just in our homes, but through the example of the community around them. One of the reasons why I'm so passionate about the Purcellville Main Street program, because whether we realize it or not, our kids are always watching. We teach them to tell the truth, to treat others with respect, to take responsibility for their actions, and to listen. And we teach them to lead with integrity. These are not abstract values. These are the foundations of how we raise good humans. So I ask, what are they learning when they watch this council? Are they seeing honesty? Are they seeing accountable, thoughtful leadership? Or are they seeing something that contradicts everything we are trying to instill at home? We are a community. We talk to each other. And I have to say to the Mayberry Four and Sabio, the savior of the warning track, After this week's revelations regarding the misrepresentation of the Cannons conversations, seriously, what are you doing? The cronyism and half-truths are just obnoxious at this point. Do better. Be better. Stop inflating each other's egos and instead try serving your community. Purcellville parents care deeply about this community, and we want to be proud of the leadership that represents us. Thank you to Council Members Stout, Wright, and Rayner for bringing glimmers of hope and coaching our community through this nonsense. This is not about perfection. It's about alignment with the values that make our community strong, alignment with the families you serve. And we are all watching. Mayor Berteau, we humbly ask that you stop the town embarrassment, set a good example, and resign.
Good evening, Becky Gardner, 410 South Nursery Avenue. A few weeks ago, I stood here and asked what our children are learning from us. Tonight, with another full house and a signed bill by Governor Spanberger, I think we have a clearer answer. Because let's be honest, this past year has not been a good look for Purcellville. It's been so messy, so loud, and so disappointing. But here's the part I refuse to ignore. People have showed up. Look around again tonight, my friends, here and at home. We've asked questions, we've pushed back, we've paid attention, we've gotten involved in a way this town hasn't seen in a long time. And whether you liked it or not, that matters, because the best thing that came out of all of this is that people of this town stopped assuming everything was fine and started taking ownership of it. Now we're seeing movement, real movement at the state level through oversight and through systems stepping in where trust was lost. And that should tell all of us something. We are not stuck here, but we also don't get to pretend that legislation alone fixes this. It doesn't. We fix this. Not through sides or ego, not through dragging this out any longer than it needs to be. We fix it by remembering we are a small, connected town that shows up for each other when it matters. And that's where spaces like Purcellville Main Street come in. And can I just say, we are killing it. Because while everything else has felt fractured, PVMS, Parks and Rec, and similar spaces are doing the work of holding people together. Community events, local businesses, and real connections. So if we're serious about moving forward, then let's actually move forward. With better leadership, come on November. With clearer priorities and decisions that rebuild our downtown instead of erode it. I'm running out of time, so can I just say, please appoint Chief Lambrania as the permanent chief of police. Stability matters, leadership matters, and right now that department and this town deserve both. And I just want to put this to bed. Nett and Fraser and all of Mayberry are in their contested positions because of their own actions. You are all grown-ups. End of story. Mr. Nett, as we say goodbye to you, we've spent more than enough time in your chaos. I truly hope you enjoy your lawsuits, of which there are so many. Just creepy. Now, my fellow citizens here and at home, let's choose clarity. Let Mayberry play their games. We're moving on. All right. Good evening, Becky Gardner, resident, business owner, mom of 3 at 410 South Nursery. What a trial, right? My favorite part to read about was Councilmember Cleo's testimony, as Paul pointed out, which blatantly incriminated the entire Mayberry team. That got your guilty verdict. Well done, and way to throw your team under the bus. Yesterday, a jury gave this town a guilty verdict that I don't think we should soften. It matters. They found Vice Mayor Nett guilty and that he violated the Conflict of Interest Act and town policies. He is guilty. For those at home, let me say it again. He was found guilty. That is not a misunderstanding. That is a breach of trust. And while the jury chose not to remove him from office, I think it's important that we don't confuse legal thresholds like the jury with actual leadership standards, because those are not the same thing. The jury answered one question yesterday. Was this enough for forced removal? But it did not answer the question many of us are sitting with today. Is this the kind of leadership we want representing our town or any town? Because leadership is not just about what you're allowed to keep, a title, a placard in front of your seat. It's about what you're willing to let go of when your ability to lead has been compromised, and what you're willing to lose, which by Nett's own admission has been a lot. And I'm going to say this plainly. There was an opportunity here after that verdict for a different kind of leadership, an opportunity to step forward and say, I understand what this has done to trust in this town, and I'm willing to step aside for the good of the community and for my family. That didn't happen. Residents are not just concerned about one guilty verdict, but a broader pattern of decision-making and lack of accountability. Whether those concerns are legal, procedural, or simply about judgment, they're real to the people that live here. This isn't about punishment or an election. It's about being good leaders. It's about recognizing when staying in a role continues the fracture instead of helping repair it. And choosing something bigger than yourself, that's leadership. So yes, the jury chose not to remove you, but the citizens are still asking the question, after being found guilty, will you please choose to remove yourself? Thank you.